is to know what issues are affecting you and the concerns that you have. So there's a few folks that have signed up. We'll go through that and then open it for any other questions. Grizz, did you have on the animal orders? Did you have some other thing? Okay.
Mine's not on the animal.
Okay.
Am I first?
Yes, you're first.
All right. 1 ton per person. What's the population in Jackson County now? 52,000 tons. That's a pretty good pile of trash, isn't it? Where is it going? Well, according to the 2011 Municipal Solid Waste Characterization Report, about 11.7% is combusted for energy, 34% is recycled, and 53.6% is landfill. More than half simply goes to a landfill. Why in the world would we even want to recycle? I mean, it's really a hassle, right? Now, some of you live inside the city limits of Scottsboro and you have that opportunity. Here in the county, we don't have the opportunity of recycling as simply a part of our garbage collection. Individuals may do it. Why would you want to do it? Because it reduces the amount of waste that's sent to our landfill. That's one reason. It conserves our natural resources such as timber and water and minerals. It prevents pollution caused by reducing the need to collect new raw materials. It saves energy. It reduces greenhouse gas emissions that contribute to global climate change. It helps sustain the environment for future generations. Mr. Roden, you'll like this. It helps create new, well-paying jobs in the recycling and manufacturing industries in the United States. So I'm here tonight to ask the Jackson County Commission and other public officials to take the lead in establishing a recycling program for Jackson County. Now, there are many ways to implement this. Curbside is the easiest for the homeowner. And even with that, there's more than one way to do that. In one city that I've lived in recent years, we simply had a big tub and we were told what we could put in it. We put everything together, newspapers and plastic and aluminum, and we set it out beside our garbage can. And when they picked up the garbage, another truck came by and picked up all the recycles, and they were taken to a separation center and it was separated out. But another way is a central deposit location located around the county. In my most recent location, our most recent residents before being able to come back to Jackson County, they were called convenience centers. And you could, at home, separate your recyclables, put them in tubs. That's what we did. We simply had 2 big plastic tubs in our garage, and one got newspapers and cardboard, and one got plastic jugs and things like that. And you take them to the convenience center. Some places use incentive programs. The homeowner gets a break on his cost of regular trash pickup based on how he reduces the amount of trash that has to get picked up because he's now recycling. Recycling can have significant benefits beyond those that directly affect the environment. And some of those are things you've already talked about tonight, things you're interested in. You want to create a more vibrant Jackson County, a county that has a stronger tax base. You bet I want these roads fixed. They're terrible, but I understand money. Creates jobs. Recycling does that. Just small investment in recycling can produce real benefits for our community in the form of well-paying jobs in the recycling industry and in the businesses that support the recycling industry and in manufacturing that rely on recycled feedstock. It saves money by diverting recyclable materials from your landfill and gives it immediate economic benefits through reduced disposal fees and the sale of the recyclable materials. And yes, I've been reading the paper, and I know it's been a struggle recently, apparently, to sell the materials that's been collected. But I think, from what I can understand, that's a temporary thing. Retaining local employers. Industries that need recyclable commodities and can obtain them from the surrounding region tend to remain in that region. Generating tax revenue, Mr. Crawford. Support of a vibrant recycling industry in the Southeast ensures continued receipt of sizable tax revenues that can be used to further improve the communities. And producing economic development opportunities. Increased collection of materials attracts businesses that are interested in processing or using these materials. Our region of the country, the Southeast, has a recovery rate of recycled materials less than 25%. That's the southeastern United States. In fact, in one North Carolina town, the owner of a bottling plant shares this. There's enough plastic bottles going into the landfills of the Carolinas to run a plastic recycling plant 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But due to the low recycling rate, they must ship plastic from all over the United States, from the West Coast, the upper Midwest, New England, Canada, Mexico, and even Puerto Rico. Think about that. They're shipping back used water bottles and Coke bottles and such. In the southeastern United States, less than 50% of their supply comes from this region. I bet everybody in this room has emptied a plastic bottle today. A water bottle, a Coke bottle, something. Georgia estimates that each year the state spends $100 million to throw away $300 million worth of recyclables. Started in 2006, South Carolina's recycling industry promised a total economic impact of more than $11 billion by 2010. Coca-Cola opened the world's largest polyethylene terephthate recycling plant. It's called PET. It's a big long word. In Spartanburg, South Carolina. They would expect to produce approximately 100 million pounds of food-grade recycled plastic annually. This production rate will help Coca-Cola, now they're doing it for themselves, meet their goal to recycle or use all the plastic bottles used in the United States. But it will put a strain on the tight recycling market. Not enough of the material is recovered today to meet the increasing demand to fill them again. What about Alabama? With more than 300 employees, KW Plastics in Alabama is among the largest HDPE plastics, and that's the number 2 plastics like milk jugs and detergent containers. In order to run at full steam, they must pull recycled materials from all over the country. Can't just do it from Alabama, and even some from overseas. From the home state of Alabama, they're only able to collect approximately 370,000 pounds of recycled plastic annually, enough to run the plant one day. One day. KW Plastics is just one of the many southeastern recycling businesses that would benefit and grow if we, as small as we are, could recycle. Tennessee, small counties, rural counties. We've got some of those in Alabama, Jackson being one of them. They have a difficult time collecting the volume of recyclables that's needed for program viability. And so the Recycling Marketing Cooperative of Tennessee was created to solve that problem. It's a statewide recycling cooperative that provides assistance to communities of less than 10,000 people. That's everybody in Jackson County except Scottsboro. In addition to providing program development, grant writing, and outreach assistance, they provide full-scale marketing. And they have an average of 600 tons per month of materials diverted away from landfills. In 1989, the Alabama legislature amended the Solid Waste Disposal Act and required the development of an Alabama solid waste management plan. In November of '89, the first phase of the plan included a statewide survey that indicated Alabamians generated an average of 6.5 pounds of solid waste per person per day, and that only 5% of that was recycled. The recycling rate, now that was 1989, the recycling rate for Alabama in 2011, 8.3%. Only increased a little over 3%. Well below the national average of 31 to 34%. Solid waste regulations of Alabama require solid waste disposal facilities to report monthly on the quantities of waste delivered to their facility for disposal. I did call Jackson County today to get this, but I got them. Their hours are a little bit different than normal because of the time they work. It's determined from a survey of Alabama municipal solid waste disposal facilities, the weighted average cost per ton of solid waste disposed in Alabama solid waste fields is $31.67 per person. That's what it costs. It's above what we're paying. The amount of recyclable materials lost in Alabama per year, $193,475,782, almost $200 million. Would any of that help us in Jackson County? The SERDC study, available at serdc.org, is available to officials and others to decide about recycling programs. The results of that study determined that an increase of just 10% in Alabama's recycling rate could provide an additional $3 million in state tax revenue, $66 million in personal income, 1,400 new jobs, and over $200 million that could be realized through actually selling the recycled material. Sure, recycling is about the environment, and it is about this beautiful world we've been given, and this beautiful county that we, as those people that are alive today, have the responsibility to care for and to keep it as beautiful for future generations as it has been for us. And I can look around the room, and several of us have grown up here. We know what it's looked like in Dutton for more than 15 or 20 years. Far more than that. But there's many other benefits. It reduces greenhouse gas, but it's also about economic development, which is what you're about, Mr. Roden. It's about creating jobs. Excuse me. It's about building competitive industries. The opportunities are literally in our hands. And so I ask this commission to take the lead and start a recycling program for Jackson County so that we can have an even more beautiful county, help preserve the world that was given to us so that future generations can also enjoy it. Thank you.
We have looked at the possibility of a drop-off type recycling program and are looking to pilot something like that. And we may need to do it in Dutton first. But I appreciate the comments you had. That really kind of motivates us to move forward with that a little more quickly and the importance of it, obviously.
I'm not going to let you forget it.
All right. Keep on us. That's the way we'll get it done. Any other commissioners have anything on that?
It is a concern for us. We have,
I got a little question. What is the cost factor to even implement that?
That's what we're looking at. We're looking at all the
That's got to be one enormous cost factor.
depending on the way that it's implemented.
Hopefully, within the next few weeks of beginning the construction of a new library building. And I think you can see from the notes that the mayor has left with us and from the library board some of the accomplishments that we're all very proud of. And I guess that you all get to share these, okay? But just to make you aware of that, and that that's going to be going forward. And I'm not sure, I may need to say that we may need to be looking for a few more dollars. Of course, earlier, Tony, we talked about, that would be a really neat sort of thing to do as a community in terms of recycling, because that's something that a lot of people are committed to. And that when we start looking at revenue, I think everybody's with us. But we do want you to be aware of that, and we appreciate your continued support and commitment to those kind of things.
Concerns? Anything from the commission or fellow elected
I
officials?
will say that we're going to hang around after the meeting. If you have anything in particular that you want to bring up or that you do want to make public, we'll be here.
I guess in closing, I'd just say that we're glad to be here. We hope that you see us around more often. If you don't see us around, though, feel free to give us a call or pay us a visit. Stay on top of us on the issues that you think need to be addressed. Give us a call from time to time, because we can't do our job if we don't know what's going on. And it is a big county, but we do try to get out to the county and do the best we can. But if there's something that comes up, please do call us and let us know. I think I'm speaking for all the commission when I say any compliments you have, feel free to call me, and any complaints, I'll be glad to take. I'll speak for myself. We'll work with you in any way that we can to handle those things. And we didn't have any road issues tonight, but we do have our engineer with us tonight. He may not like that I'm pointing him out because you may flock to him afterwards. But Philip White, our engineer, is with us, and he's been working with us great to come out for these and help us address any issues with the road systems. The money obviously is the biggest issue, but we're trying to do the best we can with what we have. So those guys have done a lot of work through the county with the flood rains that we've had, and they've been going outside of their job and doing some of the things we've asked them to do, some extra work to help improve the courthouse square and some different things throughout the county. So we appreciate the job they do. So with that, that concludes everything as far as that we have. Like I said, we'll stick around for a bit if there are any other questions or comments. And at this time, I entertain a motion to adjourn. Motion, we have a second. All those in favor say aye. Those opposed say no. We are adjourned.